What is up? What is up, guys? Um, Happy Monday. So, I wasn't even planning on recording today. Normally, the podcast is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but um, I came in and decided it's probably smarter to record on Monday and Wednesday so that I have like a full 24 hours to get that uploaded and all the stuff in the future. So these are going to be recorded Monday and Wednesday, and they will be released Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I feel like that will give me a perfect amount of time to like get everything up and going, get these edited, get them out, even though they are like completely raw. Like I really don't even edit these. Like I've basically just been uploading them straight to YouTube because I feel like that's the way that things are kind of going now with content in general. Whew, I just did my push-ups, still catching my breath. Um, but yeah, guys, that's one thing I've tried to implement over the last little bit. Whenever I get nervous, I immediately, because I have so many meetings and like stuff that I have to do, but I immediately drop and do 50 push-ups, just really slow, just to kind of help get out of my head and into my body. So it seemed to help, but I am definitely out of breath, guys. But um, today, guys, I mean, I honestly haven't even thought about this, but this is one thing as I was doing my push ups. Um, One thing that kind of hit me, and it was just like, just start, guys. Like, so many people are stuck in this place of like, they want to start something, whether it be the fitness journey or the business, the relationship, whatever the thing is. And it's just like I feel like early on in the process, it's like you feel so far disconnected from where you want to be, So it's like so discouraging and so easy to procrastinate, guys. And this is one thing that I've had to really pay attention to in my life is like it's so easy to procrastinate the things that I feel like I'm not making any progress in. But the reality is like if you're not making progress anywhere, like you should be focusing more and more attention on that thing. Just because at that point you can start to actually gain momentum in that area of your life and start to get better and better. And, eventually with time, like it's going to start working for you, and if you show up every day, it's going to start to feel easier and easier. So, um, yeah, and there are a whole lot of stories that I could tell about that. I mean, even this morning, one of the big things that I've been doing, or so I moved into my office here at OHS or at the OHS building 6 weeks ago, something like that, month and a half ago. And this is like a very small thing, but my office over the last 6 weeks has been plain. It's been empty, like literally just my desk, my laptop. Um, so today I was like, okay, I woke up. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get this done today. Like I don't care what the deal is. Like I'm just gonna start, right? And um, so I just went and got paint. I've been wanting to paint the walls black, so ended up painting 3 of the walls black. It looks super sick. Um, but yeah, it was just one of those things like, hey, like I've been procrastinating this, and I know it like in the grand scheme of things, painting is not that big of a deal, but it's simply one of those things that like I've been procrastinating, So, as small of a thing as that, it's like it still feels good to get done, and like once you are done, and now like I've gone into my office now that it's painted and it's ready, and like I just feel so much more focused. Like it feels easier to show up to work, and it feels like I belong there now, like it's my office. Um, so with that being said, like you can kind of apply that to any area of your life, right? And this is one thing that for me it was crazy because I want to go back and talk about how I started bodybuilding because it's so easy to see these people online, see these influencers, bodybuilders, whatever, the people that we look up to and be discouraged by that. Like, it's so easy to feel the disconnect and be like, yeah, but that's them. That'll never be me. And it was just wild for me because so one of the main reasons I started bodybuilding in the very beginning was because of the Generation Iron documentary. Um, so the first one came out when I was like 16, 17. Second one, I was like 17, 18. Third one when I was like 19. And then they came out with the fourth one when I was 21, 22, I believe. So, so the interesting thing about that was that once I saw Generation Iron 1, like I knew that I wanted to be a bodybuilder. That was like something that it just changed my whole life and my whole perspective on things. After that, I wanted to be Kai Green, and so at that time I was like 17, but I just put off the whole steroid thing and was like, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Um, so long story short, what I ended up doing was one, like obviously got into bodybuilding, started, trying to grow some muscle and, you know, um, get going there. But after that, I just started taking action. Like I just started making all the necessary moves that I needed in order to be successful in bodybuilding. And it wasn't even like there was such a huge disconnect from where I was, this college kid living in a basement in Price, Utah, to like Kai Green, you know? But basically what ended up happening was like I started competing and I started getting in that world, and then Generation Iron 2 and 3 came out, and I was still pushing it off, like, okay, I'll start gear later, like I'll cross that bridge when I have to get there, but I want to keep pushing naturally. And the craziest thing happened when Generation Iron 4 switched from the IFBB to the PNBA and followed people into the natural Olympia. And for me, basically, that was like bridging the gap between like Dylan Lowe, broke college kid living in a basement, to like pro bodybuilder. You know what I mean? It made it possible, and for me it was like next level. But the crazy part about that is like I never would have been, because so that documentary came out in 2020, and I would have never been in a good position to go compete and make it to Natural Olympia in 2021 had I not taken action during the first three Generation Irons when there was a disconnect, if that makes sense. So I started 18 years old, and I was just like, I'm going to push it down the road, with the, steroids and stuff. And eventually it switched. But my point being that it was like there was always a gap, but I believed that one day I could be there. And so I kept taking action and kept taking action over time. And then eventually it was like the gap closed. I saw Generation Iron 4, it came out early 2020, and it was just like eye-opening for me because I saw it and I was like, I could do that, and then the crazy part about that was I had been competing in the NPC for 3 years. So literally all I did was switched over to the INBA, PNBA, won my pro card, won Team USA in Vegas 6 weeks after that, and then I went to Natural Olympia and was on stage with the same guys that I saw in that documentary. So, and for me, that was like an absolute dream come true. Like I had never known anybody that was even close to that whole, the Generation Iron group and like that whole world. Like I had no idea. So it was just so wild to me. But the reality is like the the more you just take action and move forward, and like even if there feels like there's a disconnect, the crazy part is like as you take action and as you grow and you meet people, like the gaps start to close and the roads start to connect for you. And then like the crazy part is you look back, like once you do it, you look back and you're like, dang, like the crazy amount of things, like the stars literally have to line up for you to get from one place to the next. But the reality is like it happens a lot more often than we think. Um, so that's the crazy part about this entire thing is like people are so quick to like get discouraged and quit, but they don't realize that like nobody's actually out there betting on themselves. So the reality is like if you just go and bet on yourself over a long period of time, give it 3, 4, 5 years, and instantly one of the top in the whole game, and you literally just showed up for long enough and believed in yourself for long enough. So the thing is like most people will quit, and you just have to remember that. And I actually read this, what was it? Well, I don't even know if I can remember the quote. It was Alex Ramosi quote, and he talks about how entrepreneurship isn't a game of like winning; it's a game of being the last man standing, something along the lines of that. And I was like, dude, that's anything. Like that's the reality. Is like that is any scenario. Most people quit. Like if you just show up and believe in yourself and try for an extended period of time, it's a whole lot easier to succeed than you will ever believe. So that's really all you have to do. Just don't get discouraged, but at the same time, know that the roads will start connecting and the gaps will close in your head. And like, you're going to go from being that broke college kid in the basement to, posing with Flex Lewis at the Dragon's Lair, or like something crazy. Like I took a picture with Philip Ricardo, or like training with Charles Glass at Gold's Gym Venice. Like there's some crazy stuff that I've done that I look back now and I'm like, this is like bucket list stuff for me back when I was, 5 years ago. And it's just like, it's not to brag or anything, but it's simply just to be like, I just believed in myself long enough and everything fell into place, guys. And it's like, that's a universal principle. Um, yeah. And Andrew Tate says, I'm just like quoting a whole bunch of people today, but there's one quote by Andrew Tate that says like, if you truly try and you go all in, you cannot fail. Like that's a secret of the universe. If you truly try and go all in and believe in yourself, you can't fail. So with that being said, like just always remember that whatever the thing is, no matter how crazy it feels or seems, or how many people doubt you, how many people knock you and try to keep you down, just remember that like you could be that one person, and all you have to do is keep showing up and doing what you believe over time. So anyways, that's the thought of today, guys. As always, make sure to like and subscribe and all the things. If you liked this, definitely shoot me a DM. We can talk. I'm still at that point. I probably have like 35 subscribers on here. But anyways, we're documenting the process. Just remember, like, this is all just about growth. It's not about like getting a million followers or whatever the thing is. We'll figure that all out later. But guys, definitely follow, like, subscribe, all the stuff, and we will see you on Wednesday.